Coming. There we go. I think we got a recording. Susan, it's all yours. Do better than I did.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh, good Lord. That's kind of appropriate, isn't it? I did it right. I did it. It says pause recording now.
Oh, so I didn't. Oh, they changed something.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
So we are assuming it is recording.
It is recording.
Good morning, everyone here, and good morning, all of those of you on Zoom. I can't see you right now, but I know you're there, so good morning. Our talk today, or it was originally, was, I forget. The title of the talk. Oh, so happy together, yes. Scott, I'm not doing better than you. So that made me think about community and how we relate in our communities and with each other. And so I found a reading from Mark Nepos' 7,000 Ways to Listen about us and humanity and how we relate to each other. And so I invite you to get comfortable in your chair, and if it feels right, to close your eyes and to just take a couple of deep breaths and center. After the reading, there will be a minute of silence, and then Jackson will take us into the invocation. How I love people. I love how we root and bloom, how we twine around each other and reach for the light, how as far as we grow in the dark of the earth is as far as we stand in the world, how being human, we are always charged with the vibrancy of a larger presence, how the complexity of our humanity mirrors this larger presence. In truth, we mirror everything living as we climb and stumble our way up the mountain to the cliff of yes. When we make it to the cliff of yes, we shout out secrets to the sky till heaven is the song we choose to sing on earth.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
And as we come together this morning, I know that we are all God. We are all connected to the one life. There is no other way it can be. We were born of this one life. We live in this one life. And as we love each other, as we twine around each other, give each other strength, help each other grow, we are stronger. Our roots connected, making all of us stand taller, stand straighter, just like the redwoods. And so I know that as this community comes together, we lift each other up. We lift our communities up. With our prayers, with our hopes, with our dreams, we lift this world up. And so I let us twine together. I let us support each other. I let us stand tall and true, because that is what we are. We are love. And I know we come together today to support each other, to support this community, to support Reverend Angelica. And I know that this gathering in person and on Zoom is just perfect. And I let it be the way it is because it is right. And so it is.
And so it is.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Now I welcome Reverend Angelica to the podium. She can deal with the computer. Not my job.
Everybody hear me? Everybody needs to mute. Everybody needs to mute. It's really important.
Good morning, everyone. So, as you've heard already, this morning's talk is So Happy Together. And what a wonderful way to end our month of play, recognizing and acknowledging that we are really happy when we're together. And I know one thing for sure, that this past 2 years has led us into an understanding, possibly, of a deeper part of ourselves, but also the conscious awareness that we don't really want to be alone, that we want to live in community and celebrate each other and honor each other and be together.
Is that mic on? I don't think that mic is on.
It isn't? Is it on?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Thank you, though. All right, so from our declaration of principles, yes. For some reason, the black thing is staying down. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. That's a really powerful two statements. We do believe in the unity of all life, and we're recognizing more and more every day that the highest idea of God is the same as the innermost God, that spirit that lives within us. And that idea that we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anybody can be a revealer of truth, is really a powerful statement. You know, sometimes I think that we talk about people that are psychic, and we think that they're special. And yet, if you were to really have a deeper understanding of what it means, you would realize that we're all psychic. I mean, how many times has the phone rung and you've gone, oh, so-and-so's calling? I mean, you've just known, right? That's part of that tapping into that one mind. And in a book called, or a little paper called Think Your Troubles Away, Holmes wrote, if we would know a God of joy, we must be joyful. And together, these ideas lead us to the idea that we are all one. Oops. And to walk as a revealer of a joyful God, we must be joyful together. That means that playing together is a sacred act that serves us all. I think sometimes we get too busy. You know, that we have our lists. I'm a list maker. So every day I have a list of everything that I make the night before, of all the things that I want to accomplish the next day. And it feels so good to cross them off. But one thing I've realized with this past month of play is that sometimes I don't allow myself to play. I looked at, I was on Facebook the other day, and I like to crochet, and one of the sites that I like is called the Crochet Crowd, and they're having a crochet along, which means every week, Mikey, the guy that runs it, is going to put up a new video of the next section of this project. And I thought, wow, I want to do that. So I went out and I got the yarn, and there's this big bag now sitting on my couch of yarn that's getting ready because tomorrow is when it starts. And I started thinking about the fact that I have not crocheted very much at all in the past 2 years. In fact, what I've done in the past 2 years is what I realized I did as a child. I've hidden in books. I've read a lot of books. I've listened to a lot of books this past 2 years. And I've read a lot of books for classes, etc. But I thought, when I was realizing that, I thought, wow, when I was a kid, in order to live a happy life, I had to read a book, and I was so into that book that somebody could come and say something to me, but I would not hear them because I was so into that book. And of course, you know, there's words on a page, so I'm creating the images in my mind that go along with those words on a page. And when I was doing the meditation before we started the pre-service meditation this morning, and I'm having us move through our timeline looking at what we did to play, I realized that my play was books. It's still books all along, and I've realized that there's a positive and a negative side of that idea. One of the reasons I like our book circle that we have on Tuesday mornings is because then I get to read books and share them with people. You know, and that's playing together, which is a sacred act that serves us all. Charles Schaeffer said, "We are never more fully alive, more complete ourselves, or more deeply engrossed in anything than when we are playing." So those of you who didn't participate in the pre-service this morning, how many of you, think about this, how many of you let yourself play? Yay, I've seen some hands up. Yay, that's good. Perhaps that's something that the Science of Mind teaches us without even knowing it, is that it's okay to be childlike. It's okay to play. It's okay to play. And we're never more fully alive or more completely ourselves or more deeply engrossed in anything than when we're playing.
Right
And, you
here.
know, play turns into other things. I know that, for instance,
Right here.
Bryan and Donna
Take the
dance.
fork
And that's,
like
and I've seen them dance
then
at
come out
various different places around town. And sometimes they've danced for us. And, you know, they're playing when they're doing that. And there's a joy in it that you can see, that you can feel, that's palpable.
here. And then we just cut
And
the
that
bottom.
joy is part of our
That what you're
natural nature. If you
know
think
what
about little children, those of you who have children, and when they were babies or young ones, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and they would play, you could hear that laughter. That laughter, the childlike laughter, to me is almost like a sacred potion And I've mentioned this story before, but on the Big Island, on the Kona side, I mean on the Hilo side, is uh, well, used to be a very, very large, bigger than this room just about, hot pond that's ocean water and spring water together. But the water runs over the tubes of the volcano so that it comes out into this pool as hot water. And I loved that place. I went there all the time, as many times a week as I could. I mean, I even took the practitioners for the Hawaii church. We decided to do our Tuesday morning prayer work for everybody sitting in the hot water and in this wonderful place. But one day I'm doing laps, and I'm just swimming and having fun. And, there's all these people there. And I stop for a minute. I'm just laying there, floating on my back, looking up at the sky, looking at the clouds and the blue color. And everything was so beautiful. And across the top of the water comes this ripple of a little kid's laughter, that pure laughter. And I swear to God, the energy, it was like I could feel it. It just came right over, rippled the water right into my body. And it felt so good. And I remember thinking at that time, how often do I just let myself laugh freely like that? I have a loud laugh, and it's been complained about. So sometimes I don't allow myself to really laugh. Well, I didn't used to,
One in the
but
greenhouse.
I do now. So the first step toward a life of play, fun, and joy with others is to open up to the willingness to be with others in a playful way. I think sometimes we get to a certain age and we think, oh, well, I have to be an adult. I can't
To
act
the front
silly.
door.
I have to be an adult.
Get it to the front door.
And so
I
we
guess.
don't let ourselves just be whoever it is that we really are, that we want to be. And so that's the first step towards a life of play and joy with others, is to let yourself just be. In A New Design for Living, Dr. Holmes wrote, "The present moment can never provide us with more joy than we are able to embody." Look at that. Isn't that fun? The present moment can never provide us with more joy than we are able to embody. So I have to open up to it. If I'm worried about things, if I'm angry about something, I'm not opening up to that natural joy of the universe, am I? And we tend to be worriers, don't we? Seems like the older we get, we tend to worry. I mean, we worry about our children. We worry about the world. Right now, I think there's a lot of people that are really worried about the world and what might happen or what might not happen.
Gotta shut this door.
Remember when I told you about Johnny Carson's experience with the guy that spun the plates and they stayed up there, and his comment when Johnny said, "How do you do that so perfectly?" his comment was, "I focus on the center, not on the wobble." So for us that are watching the wobbles that are out there in our world, I'm not saying not to be aware of them, but don't watch them so much that you become fearful. Move back into the center. And from the center place, we can then declare peace for our planet. From that center place, we can then let love ripple out, the energy of love ripple out from us out into the world. From allowing ourselves to be joyful, we can joy comes out of love as well, so we can still let that ripple across, just like that child's laughter rippled across the surface of the water. talking about water, I was thinking the other day, I stopped at the kitchen sink to get a glass of water, and suddenly I remembered Dr. Emoto and his work with water. And that made me remember when Reverend Lynn Fritz came and we did the ceremony with the water. And then I took it with Maureen out to the river. I don't remember which river, but it was close to where it would go into the ocean. And took all of our blessings with it, right?
Or in
So I'm
in the
thinking
basket
every
in the
time
laundry
I
room.
turn
Perfect.
on my house water,
Up
I'm
high.
now going to think about blessing that water so that the energy in all the water in the world gets that blessing. Remember the pictures that the man, when he wrote the book, you know, if you looked at the ones about hate, which you could also say war, the crystals of the water were all strange. But when they showed pictures of the crystals of the water, when you imbued them with happiness, they were perfect. They look like snowflakes, you know, perfect structures. And you might think that, hey, you know, my turning on the water and blessing it, what difference would that make around the world, on the other side of the world?
Oh,
But I really believe in energy. I really believe that's what God is. It's a divine energy. And so I need to acknowledge it in whatever way I can. And if it takes a ritual type of thing to do it, then I'm going to do it. So when we play together, we can be creative together, moving through challenges in a kind and flexible way. We hold each other differently, feeling that we're all part of the same team. We become a deeper form of family. You know, I saw that yesterday at our Celebration of Lives picnic up at Fort Humboldt. It was amazing how, I mean, first of all, we were all really happy to be able to be together, you know, socially. We were having fun. There were so many bubbles there. I couldn't believe it. I mean, there was a bubble shooter that Donna brought. Vicky had two different like bubble guns. There was, you know, big bubble wands. There were just the kind, you know, where you dip it in the little bottle. I mean, there were bubbles everywhere. Every time I walked anywhere around our area, you know, we were covered with bubbles, and that was so much fun. And bubbles to me sort of, what somebody famous said, that laughter is like or bubbles are like carbonated laughter. And I thought that was a good one. That was a really good one. But I saw us holding each other differently. I saw us as we spoke about the people that had passed the last couple of years, as we played and as we ate and everything, I saw us holding each other as family. I know that there's, even as a little child, there's always this desire to belong. And you know, we belong to the family of the divine. There's only this one presence. I mean, we can't not belong to it because all there is that. This great isness, this great energy, this great force, this whatever you want to call it. That's all there is that. And we belong to that. And we belong to that because we are that. We cannot get away from it. And so letting ourselves really hold each other in this idea of family with a sense of joy is a very healing thing to do. I don't know about you, but I look for, just like Mr. Rogers' mother said, look for the helpers. So whenever I've seen any of this stuff on the news, I really connect with those things where They're showing how, for instance, I'm an animal person, most of you know that, they've shown different things on Facebook, for instance, of men and women who have stayed in the battle zones to take care of the animals that have been left behind.
Oh.
And so that kindness, that compassion, that's what I want to focus on, the goodness that is happening everywhere, right in the midst of chaos. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be living in a basement with, a whole bunch of other people, and it's cold, and, you had to leave everything that you owned behind. And yet still, they're feeding the Russian soldiers. They're doing things that are compassionate and kind, and they're bringing themselves joy. So this is what I want us to do this last week, these last few days of March. Really allow ourselves to move into that place where we absolutely allow ourselves to play, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be love with a sense of joy. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't even know how I'm going to do it. But I know that because I've declared it for myself, that the universe is going to give me opportunities. And so I would love to hear your opportunities when they arise and how it felt. How it felt to playfully be joyful, to playfully be compassionate, to allow ourselves to laugh in the face of what looks like all hell breaking loose. So let's say this affirmation together, and then we'll go into treatment. My connection to spirit and to all beings fills me with light and love and perfect stillness.
My connection to
So gratefully I acknowledge that we're living in amazing times. And part of that amazing doesn't look so good. And yet, the resilience of humanity is the resilience of the divine. And so I know for each one of us that as we move out into our lives today, as we experience our own trials and tribulations, we all also allow ourselves to laugh in the face of them, to be joyful, to play, to realize that we're not alone, that there is not only that powerful presence within us that is constantly serving us according to our predominant thoughts and feelings, but there are friends and family that are willing to stand with us. And all of us are willing to be so happy together. So I know for us, for each one of us, speaking in the first person, I am absolutely willing to step beyond where I have been before and let myself enjoy this world. I let myself feel the joy of a little child, knowing that all of life is here for me. And I know this not only for myself, but for everyone on our planet, that there is always some joy to be found. Knowing that we're never alone. Knowing that we can be like children with that sense of awe and wonder. That's what Jesus said. Come to me as little children. So I come to the Christ, that Christ nature of my own self, the Christ nature of everyone around me as a child, and I'm in awe of it. I live in wonder, and I play, and I laugh, and I feel joy, and I bring joy to wherever I am, whether it's work or the market, school, wherever it might be. I declare right now that not only am I a light worker, but I'm a joy bringer. And I see that as I do this, the radiation of joy that I set up by acknowledging in myself, experiencing in myself, moves out from me exponentially around our planet. So people's hearts are touched with love and with joy. And knowing the power of my word, I now declare that regardless of appearances, the truth is something much higher is at work here. Something much greater than we can imagine at the moment is at work here. And so I see peace, 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 absolutely everywhere. And how grateful I am to be part of it. How grateful I am to be so happy together with this spiritual community. So happy together with my family and friends. So happy together with that powerful presence that is my life force. And with a grateful heart, I release these words into divine law, knowing that they are already so, and so it is. Thank you, Jackson. We have a treat this morning. Let's welcome Donna and Bryan. I think they could get a better hand than that. Are we going to be able to see them? I hope the other camera goes. Oh, something's happening here. Is it this one? Does this one need to be turned off?
So I like today's theme, So Happy Together. You may remember that turtle song, Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you tonight. It's Friday. Think about the ones you love and hold them tight. So happy together. We're not doing that one. It was too obvious. Randy, we have some kind of ring. I can't hear you.
I think the mic Marvin's got before that, I think.
Oh, you think it's this one?
Okay, we're going through some more stuff. I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to...
Okay. All right.
Wait, I'm going to move this so that the Zoomers can see the musicians, so hold on. But what...
That look reminds me of the Dr. Fake, and he's no
Here, take this for a minute.
I could hold this in front of the
Yeah.
bar.
Yes.
If we could do it with the wires.
We're wearing green for all systems go. It all over.
And yes, it was intentional. I think I'm a little hot on my phone.
There we go, we got it.
Hi, everybody. All right.
Thank you. That's all just hold it.
happiness on me. Tell me I'm great and I'll be greater. Build me up and I'll fly. Be love now and live love later. Tell your troubles goodbye. Lay some happiness on me. Then the brighter side you'll see. No more loneliness to be. Lay some happiness on me. Wash your hands of trouble and sorrow. Sooner the better with you. Play with joy today and tomorrow. It'll come back to you. Lay some happiness on me. Then the brighter side you'll see. No more loneliness to be. Lay some happiness on me. For prosperity and all your talking, it'll come shining right through. Give with love and keep on walking, and it'll double back to you. Lay some happiness on me, then the brighter side you'll see. No more loneliness to be. Lay some happiness on me. A thankful heart makes each day brighter. Gratitude springs anew. Toss those burdens and live life lighter. Spirit is working through you. Lay some happiness on me, then the brighter side you'll see. No more loneliness to be. Lay some happiness on me. Lay some happiness on me. Lay some happiness on me.
Thank you, Rick.
Sure.
You're a natural.
Part of his job. All right then. So that was good. No, I'm trying to get to share the PowerPoint again. There we go. Yes. Hooray. All right. I lost the... All right. I think they deserve a hand again, don't you? Yeah. That's a good one. Very good. All right. So let's think for a moment about what offering we want to give today. Again, the baskets will not be going around. They're on the back table. And of course, there's other ways you can donate as well that will be on the next slide. But let's say this offering blessing together. I give freely, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing this gift blesses the center, all in it and all beyond, and so it is. Very good. So here are the ways that you can donate if you were going to do so other than in the basket. I know Ukiah has its own baskets, etc., but they're not in their room. So here are the directions. And let's just be grateful for a minute. Be grateful for knowing that there's only one source, and that source is the divine energy that is the source and substance of everything. And so how grateful we are that the universe is a generous giver and that we are generous receivers. And so it is. So who would like to be the one that comes up and reads our statement of inclusion this morning to close our service? Hey, all right, come up here. So good to see you in person.
You too.
Alaska's in the house.
Yeah. Good to see everybody. Yes. Yeah. All right. We, the Eureka and Ukiah Centers for Spiritual Living, are communities that celebrate diversity, foster inclusion, champion inner work, and create space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are communities that honor the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocate with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are communities that bless each other, see sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so we may grow together and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Thank you very much. So it is. So it is. So that ends our gathering for this morning, everyone. The Eureka has a board meeting, so we won't be able to do the virtual coffee hour, but let me get back to the pictures of everybody. How come this? Oh, I know why, because I pinned myself on here. So let me unpin. Go to gallery. There we go. Oh, we've got some who are showing their pictures and a bunch who are not. So thank you everybody for being here this morning. We appreciate you greatly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good seeing everybody.
You're still recording.
All right, great. So that's it for today, except don't we have any music today?
We do.
All right, let's do some music.
This is an old standby. Standby.
Let me put us back on speaker view. I gotta get this out of the way.
No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I'll shed a tear just as long as I stand. Darling, darling, stay. And we won't stand by me. You're you can stand by if the sky beautiful should tumble and fall and the mountains do crumble to the sea. I will cry, I will cry, I won't shed a tear just as long as you stand by me. You'll never be alone. Stand by me. Oh, stand by me. You love me. Stand by me. You'll never be alone. In this together, you can stand by me.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, Gail.
We have another mic man around here.
You're not muted. I mean, you're
Teresa, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I got confused with when I wasn't muted.
Well, that was a great spot.
Yeah. Have a wonderful week.
You too. Love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Everybody's going hard. You want to say goodbye to Gail? Yeah.
Hi, Harvey.
Hi, Gail. Good service, huh?
Yeah, it was. It's great. It's always
Funny.
good.
I don't know, Jeanette, I don't know if she can hear me. Jeanette wasn't muted during the service.
Yeah, I
Trying
got
to get her to mute.
confused halfway through whether I was muted or not.
I don't know whether I could hear you yet.
Hi, Angelica.
I can't hear. I don't know why. Let me unplug this and then maybe I can.
Anyway, it was so funny. Teresa and I had a laugh because when Angelica was talking about the people in Ukraine that were
now I can hear. It's that. It's the digital projector that makes it so I can't hear. How weird.
So, and when she said that about the animals, we could hear Jeanette go, "Oh." That was so wonderful. It was so very heartfelt.
Heartfelt.
Yeah.
Well,
you hear us, Angelica?
if somebody has an opportunity to speak to Jeanette personally and help her see where she can go mute, that
Yeah.
might be helpful.
It would. It would.
Thank you. Thank you. I assume she's one of your Ukiah neighbors?
No. She must be in Eureka. I don't know where she's from.
Oh, interesting.
You know what?
Okay, well,
Can you hear Angelica?
No, I don't hear anything. When I just discovered that it's the digital projector that stops me from hearing anything.
but you're hearing us now?
Because as soon as I unplug that, now I can hear you guys. But, and once the PowerPoint is going, I can't see anybody, nor am I going to look at the chat because then it'll show up on the screen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we were trying to say, what we were trying to say is that Jeanette, bless her heart, didn't know how to mute during the Zoom. And it was really amazing, really nice when you were talking about the animals and the people in shelter caring for animals. We were trying to get her to mute. She went, oh, you could really feel that heartfelt feeling, you know.
Well, and as Michelle pointed out,
just told. Okay, wait.
Michelle
It's so
pointed out
noisy in
during
here.
all this, the chat, it was an opportunity for us to look at the center and not look at the wobble, and not, not let Jeanette's conversations distract us too much.
That's true. You know,
but it would be great to remind everybody before you start.
Yeah, we could hear her in the middle of your talk and whatever was going on talking. She just didn't really know how to mute or something.
And then I got nervous. I thought, oh no, am I muted? Am I not muted?
Yeah, you were not muted at the beginning.
Yeah,
and then I
thought,
oh,
told me there's another way to do it.
You can mute
that
her
I don't
from,
have to even try to remember. If I go into the administrator stuff, I can make it mute everybody on entry.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And then she
Yeah,
would be muted.
That's probably
that
the
would be
best idea.
helpful.
Do you know Jeanette?
Not that I know of.
Okay, well.
If I saw her, I might know. You know, like I said, I can't really see very many people. I'm going into my office where it's quieter. I can't really see everybody once I start working.
If you get know where that mute all is, then they're automatically muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we did that last week, but it didn't seem to work. It seemed like she came in later and wasn't muted. But apparently in the administrative stuff, before we even start the meeting, it will not let anybody speak. I can do mute upon entry or something like that. I don't remember.
Okay,
that would be great if there's a way.
Look for that.
And it was really helpful that when Rick picked up one of the laptops and we got to see Donna and Bryan singing.
He picked up this one.
Yeah, so that was helpful.
And also we couldn't hear like Jackson after the meditation because he's not anywhere near a Zoom microphone. So we couldn't hear him. But that's just little things, you know.
Yeah, well, we'll get it all straightened out. It's much different doing it in the room than it is having recorded things and doing it from my kitchen, my dining room table.
It was a wonderful service.
Yeah, good service.
Talk.
It was.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
We look forward to you coming back to Ukiah. When's your
When
next?
is the next time?
When's your next Ukiah?
The
10th.
Yeah,
it's the 10th.
April 10th. I'm going to mark that in my book.
It's always going to be the second weekend.
Yeah.
The weekend of the board meeting.
Yep. This one is the 10th. Well, thank you, Angelica. It was wonderful as usual. And we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Yes, you will. Thank you very much.
Everyone.
Great to see you.
Have a great board meeting, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep, we will.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'll shut this one down.